After a 2-year period planning, I'm finally on my way to the majestic India. Home of the ancestors of all our domestic chicken today, the gallus or red Junglefowl. Yet Indians' flora and fauna is so diverse that it was hard for me to make choices. Which natural interesting regions I should visit. As my DJ gig was supposed to be in Bengaluru, I decided to visit a southern Indian rainforest area first, which is located in the state of Kerala. In Bangalore, I was first time ever confronted with real poverty and street dogs and cows feeding on trash. Our birding spot is named after one of the leading ornithologists of the earlier years in India, Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary on Thattekkad.
My favorite forest.
Yeah?
We are going another.
Okay.
My favorite spot, frogmouth and owls.
Yeah.
And
How is it called?
Urlantani.
Ulantani?
Yes.
This was the place to be. Not far from the street we parked our car, we did arrive this forest clearing with some house on it that was home too with a family of Malabar grey hornbills. I can't clearly describe this feeling I had to observe these large birds first time ever in their natural habitat. So far I have only seen hornbills in zoos. It was magnificent. These birds here been preening after a rain shower to dry and order their feathers again, and I was watching. They were sitting high up in some palm trees, and I had not learned yet how to use my first DSLR camera, nor did I have or bring a tripod. The Malabar grain hornbills are endemic to the Western Ghats and associated hills of southern India. They are found mainly in dense forests and rubber, areca nut and coffee plantations. They move around in small groups, feeding on figs and other forest fruit.
We already seen some of the really nice hornbills, which was the Malabar grey hornbill.
I'm going to show one of the rarest nocturnal bird in the world, Ceylon frogmouth.
Okay, but it's not nocturnal now.
No, it's at that time. It's a roosting. I know the roosting place.
This frogmouth is not one of the rarest birds in the world, but due to its cryptic plumage and being night active only, it's mainly been located by specialists like our local guide Giresh. Filmed from our house, a pair of red-whiskered bilboes.
And the feet moving is so amazing. Nice light. Oh, I'm making a great new trance video, by the way. Like the shuffle trance, I don't know. Nice. Yeah. This is a soft massage. There's really some big rain coming up.
Simply overlooked by the others, I paid my full attention to this amazing millipede, as I have never seen one of its size in my life before. What wonderful animals our Mother Earth has created. Then we reached another total tree clearing near the big river, which was a good area to observe flying birds crossing over and hear an amazing after-rain frog concert. And it rained again. Still warm, and I enjoyed the nature and atmosphere here so much that I stayed here to film until the next shower was over again. My first bee eater ever in the wild, and a rose-ringed parakeet eating a nut. The marvelous flameback woodpeckers were too far away and disappeared too fast for me to identify them correctly. The ashy wood swallows here are common residents, and to watch them perching can be quite funny. The first bird I filmed next early morning is a drongo. And it had just catched its breakfast. And there its mate returns. Oh, have them on the video. And takes off again to catch the next insect. Also painted in black, a raven in the morning. And me following slowly up the others. This is a heavenly place. There's some birds. This lovely cuckoo sound I will hear more often on my trip. The red-whiskered bulbuls again, and the beautiful Brahmini kite, a medium-sized bird of prey, which is quite common in India, Southeast Asia and Australia. This morning we are guided by Giresh brother Sudesh, that had located the great Junglefowl for me, which vocalizations I have never heard before. It's a Junglefowl. We tried to reach them on the other side of the brush, but the leech cows here went totally wild by our appearance, and this here even escaped. And another swallow, the crested tree swift. What would a trip to southern India be not seeing the native chicken? So here we found them. The people working here with wildlife had created a feeding spot for birds and other mammals. Here's a group of hens first. And on the left, some young males. A white-breasted water hen, common bulbuls and a squirrel. We've been staying in our car to not disturb the birds while filming them. white-bellied tree pie. And on the late afternoon trip on ourselves, we found another group of great Junglefowl, here with adult males. Our 3 days in Thattekkad were really rainy, so we often had to spend time in our house, not because we would get wet, but with this rain here, we would have got really wet, and our birds hide it for shelter as well. And this is the rugged-tailed drungle. Wow, what a beautiful place. It's a good place, I guess. On our way back, stopping at the picnic place, all birds were already gone, but I filmed this marvelous morpho butterfly. And back at the house, this cute caterpillar, which was the last animal I filmed here in Thattekkad. So it's a beautiful morning here, the sun is shining, and I also tried to manage to get the last seats of the bus, so I did like some half sleeping on the way back. I feel quite relaxed at the moment and looking forward for my next trip, which will be tonight. I will fly to Udaipur, Rajasthan, to do another birding tour with Uttam, and he's a birder up there, and he will hopefully bring me to some places where I can film and shoot some painted squirrel and of course the great Indian bustard, which is like the heaviest flying bird of India, but it's like very hard to find, not just because it's like almost extincted, but it's like superb camouflaged actually in its grassland habitats. First we went to see an astonishing protected forest area close to Udaipur for half a day before we took the train to leave to Rajasthan. This common monkey here had no great interest to end up as a film star. There was so much to discover here yet, but we had to hurry up. Fastly filming these weaver birds from our car. But as I seemed to be quite tame, I also stepped out to make some closer films.
All the branches are in the way.
Everyone knows the spectacular peacock, the astonishing male of the blue or Indian peafowl. But when you want to see it in the wild and not in some zoological garden, you must visit India or Sri Lanka. In Rajasthan they are quite numerous, and this bird here is a young male that yet lacks its long tail feathers. And a proud peacock presenting himself on a fork, finally doing its typical call, what I have been waiting for.
Yeah. Okay.
And Uttam is checking on my camera settings again.
Better?
Yeah.
What had to be changed?
Speed and aperture.
So beautiful. So nice.
Got
Grey francolin. Utam once again testing my camera. And these cute deers with their big ears were also close to the street that goes through Ranthambore Tiger Park. I hope to see the painted spurfowl here, but unfortunately missed them.
Oh, cute. How old is this, the little one?
10 to 15 days, man.
It's very young. Has such large ears.
10 to 15 days, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 25 minutes.
Yeah? Okay, then we gotta better go.
Yeah, you can do ISO setting now.
Okay.
Common miners are to see in India almost everywhere.
He's imitating everything, right?
Yes. नहीं है.
And there is a cuckoo again, and I'd love to hear its call again.
Should call again. Call.
ये साइज थोड़ी बड़ी होती है.
It's also known as brain fever bird.
Call.
इसे इसके ground में उड़ेगा नहीं साइड है.
Okay.
Yeah.
थोड़ा सा इसका आगे लेके वहाँ पे wait.
Yes, now. Oh, yeah, stop.
Yes.
Indian rollers, of course, are another must-see beauties.
ये वो चलने लगी है.
And this poor squirrel seems to be overexhausted by all the traffic noise, which I filmed from out of our hotel window. If you didn't believe so far that quails can be quite aggressive, you should watch this scene. A male jungle bush quail defending his territory. We found them very early in the morning in the grasslands of Shokalia, so have a look.
Take a video.
And here comes the star of Shokalia, the lesser florican. We are just right in the season to see his promoting display full of lights, which are not only visible by high jumps into the air, but also audible by their wing claps. This member from the bustard family was formerly widespread across India, but is now much endangered due to habitat loss. Its today's breeding areas are restricted mainly to Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and some parts of Andhra Pradesh and southern Nepal. We have been driven through the grasslands for several hours and still haven't seen our GIB, the Great Indian Bustard. We reached a good view-out point for its perforated area, but still couldn't find it. Grey shrikes are still abundant, but the state bird of Rajasthan has left one more of his last strongholds. This is an ashy-crowned sparrowlark. It is found in the plains of open land with bare ground, grass and scrublands across Southeast Asia. This is a male. During the breeding season, they make long descending whistles that accompany their undulating and dive-bombing flight displays. They roost at night on the ground, making small depressions in the soil. Recognized by its grayish bill, these are Indian silverbills. These finches are common birds in drier regions of the Middle East and the Indian subcontinent. They are gregarious and can be found in flocks of as many as 60 birds. And of course you won't miss to see the cattle egrets as well. There's many locals here that keep buffaloes, and these egrets here made their profit of them and stay around unshy. And here in full display a peacock, with his famous feathered eye spots. He displays for a female behind in the brush, but would also do it without her presence, as we have seen it in the grasslands as well. Indian pond herons are very common in India, and their feeding habit is marshy wetlands. The white-eyed buzzard is a medium-sized hawk found throughout India and South Asia. Their usual habit is dry open forests or cultivation. We're stopping to check for the GIB again, but no luck. The Indian eagle owl is a huge horned owl found on the Indian subcontinent and is usually seen in pairs. This one here had landed in a tree full of parrots, and some crow came to chase it away eventually.
Can we turn the car off?
Green bee-eaters can be seen easily as well in the rural areas of Kashmir. They are mainly insect eaters and found in grasslands, thin shrub and forests, and quite often far from water.
I don't have it.
Oh, beautiful. And another raptor, this is the black-winged kite with its long wings. And the Indian stone curlew or thick-knee. And finally, we found a group of grey francolins that were out in the open to be easily filmed from our car. I don't know many people that breed francolins, as their calls are very loud and the males can be quite aggressively in breeding season. This goes to such an extent that the males can be easily attracted by decoys to trap them. They are hunted in much of their range using low nets or caught by calling decoy birds. It has long been domesticated in areas of northern India and Pakistan where it is used for fighting. They are usually hand-reared and can become as tame and confiding as a pet dog. But But must we pet every animal or use it for our game pleasure? Here you can see how much nicer it is to see them in their natural habitat, foraging around in their flock. And a large reptile of the Indian grasslands is the monitor lizard. Here we only see a little one. Enough of talking, I want to thank you for watching. I made this film almost 2.5 years after my first visit to India, so indeed lots of interesting birds and info of this trip we have seen are missing. But once again, I can only encourage you to visit India to see its amazing birds. Like this lonely peacock here in the middle of the agricultural fields that display to our car when we approached.